This project is supported in part by an award from the National Endowment for the Arts, which believes that a great nation deserves great art, and by a grant from the National Film Preservation Foundation.
When the shepherd went singing, his wandering sheep, he was singing for you, he was singing for me, he was singing for me. When he prayed that the Father might shelter and keep, he was praying for you.
In the beginning, I worked for the Salvation Army, and we had excellent material coming here, good clothing. For, say, pleated skirts had yards and yards and yards of material in them. And I could visualize what a seamstress could do for Letcher County. And then I thought if the OEO would give us enough money to provide salaries for 5 seamstresses, they could sew for the needy families in Letcher County. Well, these children, when they were with their own, and these from the heads of the halls at their own little school, they didn't feel so self-conscious. But when they were thrown together with their more prosperous town children, they were more clothes-conscious because their clothing didn't fit as well, and it was not as well, especially from the Salvation Army or something like this. Didn't fit as well as we could make them. And these children dropped out because they just didn't have sufficient clothing to wear. I went before the County Board of Education and asked for this building to be used as a community center. And the night that I asked for it, somebody bid $500 on the building. So they said we could have it as long as we wanted to use it for a community center. And these clothing are all given away on the order of the Salvation Army, in that we sew sizes to fit the child and the whole family. We sew for the whole family. And we also give sheets and bed pads and quilts and pajamas and gowns to the bedridden. And sometimes we sell a few clothing, very, very seldom. But if they're able to pay, or if somebody wants a dress and they're able to pay, we charge them $3 for that. But if a family is not able to pay, we don't charge them anything.
I mark the shirts for the lady to work the buttonholes in. And then I always take the buttonholes and make a little mark, and then my sea girl sews the buttons on. They get them straight so they're not puckered or nothing. And we work, we make shirts. The girls sews the buttons on, then we make the dresses, the girls hems them. So we all just stay busy all the time. There's no fooling around here. Yeah, I make pants for little boys too. We had to make pants for the little boys, and so I made pants for even the up to 14s, even for the high school boys. And I cut them and made them set the pockets in, put the belt loops on. You couldn't tell them what was out of the store.
What happens to the clothes after?
Well, you don't want me to explain.
Well, I'd rather
She
she
won't.
explain, because she's the head seamstress. She knows more
Okay.
about than I do.
Well, I'll tell you, my table's in such a mess, you can't see nothing that I'm going to show you. See, when they bring an order in here, they bring it in here. This is the name of where it's a boy or girl. and their ages, because you see, I gotta know whether they're a boy or a girl on account of cutting to fit, and I gotta know where to give you the shirt or give you the dress. So they're gonna put down a boy or a girl because boys and girls has the same name sometimes. So I get a pattern down and I cut the size that to fit them, and then I take it over there and these ladies sews it. Well, after they bring it back to me, well, I put it in this order. When I get it in this order, then I take the order into the office, they type it up, I bring it back here, and when one of the aides come in, I sign them out and give them one of these to take to the needed people, and they sign it and they bring it back to show that they did get it.
When the ladies first began to sew, all we had were used clothing donated from various churches and individuals, or maybe millions or something like this, but all we had mainly was from the Salvation Army. But we spent so much time ripping and ironing. We did rip. They figured that we spent about 5 hours each day renovating these clothing. That's before they got ready to sew. They had to be ripped, they had to be washed and pressed, and then after you made the dress, it had to be pressed again. And we'd spent so much time with this, they thought it might be cheaper to give us a little more money and let us get new material. Oh, our lunch program. Well, in the beginning, are you familiar with the food stamp program that we have here? Well, these people live high on the hog for 2 weeks, and the other 2 weeks they have nothing. Well, I was determined that these children would learn how to manage their food stamps. I know $50 a month or what have you is not enough for us to live on. But if $50 a month is all we got or all we're going to get, we're going to have to live on it. And I thought that these children would learn how to manage their food and live well on a very, very limited fund. We don't just buy enough for one day, we buy enough for a whole week. Say, for instance, if we get a 25-pound stand of lard, 50-pound bag of potatoes, or a 50-pound bag of pinto beans, then if we get some money, more money, we go out and buy something else. We don't have to buy the same thing again. Now, most of our seamstresses are widow women, and their monthly gross pay is $128 a month, and this supplements their income because they get this for a quarter and cuts down a lot on their grocery bill.
Wonderful love, for sinners like me, for sinners like me. They crowned him with thorns, and led him away, to Golgotha's hill, that terrible day, no darkness prevailed, yet all men could see, the sacrifice made, for sinners like me, for sinners like me. What wonderful love!
The Sewing Center also is a community center within this building, and we do everything. In fact, not too long ago, they called somebody, some old lady, and wanted us to take her to the laundromat, which of course we can't always take her to the laundromat, but it's an information depot. They call on us for everything, and because we have a good working relationship with every other agency, we refer them. If they want something besides clothing, we refer them to this other agency.
What do you think the best things it does to the community?
Well, it causes us to have, get payday so we can trade for the kids to eat. And then I've got 6 kids and I've sent them all to school out of this right here. And I've got 3 in high school right now. So if it still goes, I guess I'll have to send them through high school from here.
What would you be doing if you weren't working here?
Well, I suppose I'd be at home putting up my garden stuff
Yeah.
right now because it's on me.
Yeah.
And I work my 8 hours here, then I go home and fix supper for my husband. And then we work at our garden stuff, and sometimes it's 11:30 before I go to bed. Then I get up next morning, cook the breakfast, clean my dishes, come back here and
If
work my...
you couldn't be working
I'll give you all some.
for pay unless you were working
No,
here. Yeah.
Because I was 65 the 6th day of last month. And anybody at that age can get out and get a job. So I really appreciate the Sewing Center. It's done so much for me and my family. And I have 3 grandchildren that I'm raising. I raised 4, but have 3 now, and this is about all I have to support them.
The first grant we had $1,200 for consumable supplies a year. That was $100 a month. This meant threads and office supplies and everything that we needed. Well, that left little or nothing for materials. Well, we just depended on the Lord to get it for us, and He did. Everything that we have ever needed is being right here at our fingertips.
The Bible tells us that all man-made things are going to be destroyed, but the Word of God is going to stand forever. It's going to stand forever. It's not going to be destroyed.
The whole Sewing Center is built on faith, because in the beginning, as I told you, we had nothing but used clothing. And we have seen the Lord supply our needs. Our mountain people are a proud and independent lot. I guess they're proud because they have been sufficient unto themselves so long. And I guess the problem was isolation, because they were so isolated that they had to learn to be a power unto themselves.
It means a lot. Because if it wasn't for this right here, I couldn't even live, and I've got 6 kids to feed.
Well, I'll tell you what it would have been if Mabel hadn't got funded again. I don't
state
like
would have had to feed me
oh
if I
yeah,
hadn't.
I don't like to, sit down at home and let somebody else keep me up. I would have had to went down to
That's
the
really
public
what we
assistance and got on the public assistance or old age and got food stamps. But as long as I'm able to work, I'd rather work. And I think the community here has been one of the wonderful things that's ever been in Letcher County. It's fed and clothed more children that's never had clothes or never been in school. After this started, there'd been more children in school. They've been well dressed. And it's fed many a little child that wouldn't have had nothing to eat when it rose.
Yeah. He clothes us and feed mine,
right.
I know, honey.